We're taking a closer look at the tried and true comfort of the Therm-a-Rest Women's Trail Pro sleeping pad. This is a semi-self-inflating pad, and the real story here with your self-inflating sleeping pads is that you have an expandable foam core on the inside. So the foam that's in there acts kind of like a sponge with air. As soon as you open the valve for this pad, that foam starts to expand, it lets air in, it traps the air in the open cell foam, and it allows a lot easier inflation than your fully inflating pads. I will mention that it doesn't self-inflate completely, so at the end, after you've waited maybe 10 or 15 minutes, you do have to inflate the rest of the pad by mouth, and then from there you can adjust the firmness or softness of the pad. But with the design, again, the tried and true Therm-a-Rest design of this pad. This has been a pad that's been in their line for decades, and they continue to make improvements, and we'll take a look at all the features. The Trail Pro is definitely a backpackable option. It rolls down to be small enough and lightweight enough to bring in your pack. It's certainly not the most ultralight pad in Therm-a-Rest line, but if you're looking for really great comfort and really good clearance from the ground, as well as the 4.8 R value that gives you a lot of warmth from cold ground, this is a really great 4-season mat. Now, this is the women's version, so it is 20 inches wide, 66 inches long, and it is 2 inches thick, so that provides a lot of comfort there. If you want more sprawling comfort, if you need a wider or a longer pad, there are definitely other sizes and other versions, but the women's specific version does offer some mapping with the foam. It's not just, your standard foam on the inside. Therm-a-Rest does a really good job of mapping the foam in different areas where you have a little more softness here, a little more firmness there, and it's die cut, so that means they take some of the foam out to make it a little bit lighter weight, but with that 4-season use, you do have a lot of insulation there from the ground, so it's a really smart design. And the women's specific pad, again, does have certain insulation in places that some of their other standard pads don't have. The fabrics used here are really, really durable, and unlike some other sleeping pads that have almost a crunchy sound to it, this is a very silent sleeping pad. So I can move it around and bend it and push on it, and you really don't have a lot of sound there. It doesn't have any sort of crunch or anything like that. So if you're sensitive to that kind of noise when you're sleeping, this might be a really great pad for you. And again, it has kind of a brushed feel to the top, so it's really soft as well. I found this pad really easy to inflate with that semi-self-inflating foam on the inside. Basically all I did was undo the valve, let it sit there for a couple of minutes, and then give it a couple breaths of air at the end just to give it the the inflation that I want. The valve is constructed in such a way that it's really easy to make minor adjustments here, and it even has a little rubberized grip on the outside. So once you have this pad fully inflated, you can lay down on it, and some people like to kind of sink into their sleeping pads. Some people like their sleeping pads to be really firm, and you can make minor adjustments with that valve. It's really easy to use. Unlike some valves that are either open or closed, this one you can really dial in the firmness of the pad, which is something I really appreciate about the durable Therm-a-Rest valves. All in all, this is a very warm, very comfortable, and easy to use sleeping pad for the backcountry. It would be great for camping or traveling as well. Therm-a-Rest does include a stuff sack, so you can roll that down and stuff it into the stuff sack so you can throw it into your pack. It is the Therm-a-Rest Women's Trail Pro sleeping pad.